QSD from the Denver Radio Club. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Net, being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on the air every Sunday evening at about 8:30 p.m. Good evening. My name is Jim. My call sign is Kilo Zero, Tango Oscar Romeo. I'll be your net control station, transmitting from Littleton, Colorado. If there's any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break at any pause, and the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for Denver Radio Club members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. And with the COVID restrictions, we have a virtual meeting, and we use the Google system. And our next meeting will be held on December the 16th. To join the meeting, you can get the website addresses either on the Denver Radio Club website, or if you're on our mailing list, of course, it'll be sent to you in an email. And an Elmer session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. This session addresses any amateur radio questions that you might have. So whether you're new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when a monthly meeting is held, there's a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625 megahertz. This is another area we can find answers for amateur radio-related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, City of Lakewood Police Department, West Metro Fire District, and St. Anthony's West Hospital. We're always looking for members who would like to participate in the support. Please contact our club president if you would like to help. Our current president is Jerry Vilhauer, W0GV. Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club website address is www.w0tx.org. Again, Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. But again, with the COVID-19 restrictions, we haven't had frequent VE sessions as we like. We do have one coming up early this next month, and I'll wait and see whether or not somebody comes on and announces that here next. But if you have any questions regarding VE testing, you can contact our VE team lead, Tom Kuchelski, KC2CHE, at 720-284-1911. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TOR serving as net control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now.
AC0VC.
AC0VC. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, good evening, Jim, and everyone else on the net. Well, here's my weekly VE session report. We did hold a Laurel VE session out at the American Legion Post 82 in Elizabeth today. We had 3 sessions. In total, we tested 23, and we should have had 28, but we had 5 no-shows. But we did test 23 today, and that was a combination of testing via the computer, and some people did do the paper test. Our next session in Elizabeth is going to be on December the 16th. There will be an evening session. There is a session tomorrow, November 30th, at Abel Shepherd, but it's in Centennial, but those sessions are both full. So December 16th out in Elizabeth would be the next spot, and that starts at 6 p.m. You need to pre-register for the testing. To pre-register, you can go to hamstudy.org/sessions/Whiskey 0 Papa Charlie Tango. That will bring up the list of sessions there. And what was I going to mention? You do have to pre-register for the test because you're given a PIN number. So when you show up to take your test, you need a photo ID and that PIN number to take the test. The other big important thing is the Laurel VE team does not charge. All the testing is free. So if you take the test, it's free. If you do not pass the test and you wish to take it again, it's free. If you pass your test and you wish to try for the next level, it is free. So again, it's free. So that's all I have for now, Jim. We'll give it back to you, AC0VC.
KA0VBA.
All right, thanks much, Bill. Appreciate that. And KA0VBA, Curtis, go ahead.
Just wanted, in case somebody that hasn't been paying attention, missed the opportunity to study for their general. We have had the third 1-hour lesson, but it's still not too late to review. The questions are all mostly regulations and stuff that you can easily study up on without coming, but we'll soon get to the hard stuff. The tests are on Zoom at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday evening, and the Zoom ID number is 303-424-7373. Anybody's welcome. KA0VBA.
All right. Thank you for that, Curtis, and I have both you and Bill checked in tonight. And before I move on, do we have any other special announcements or bulletins for the net? If so, please call now. All right, I'll make another one. The Denver Radio Club will have a VE testing session that's scheduled to be December the 5th on a Saturday at 2:30 in the afternoon, and you'll need to register for that as well. And to do that, you can get a hold of Tom Koszalski, KC2CAG. His phone number is 720-284-1911. So there's a couple of opportunities there for testing. Before regular check-ins, I'd like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club net this evening. During this net, we disable the requirement for the 100 Hz PL repeater access tone, so you can use either 145.490 megahertz with a minus 600 kilohertz offset, or 448.625 megahertz with a minus 5 megahertz offset. Are they visiting radio amateurs who would like to check into the Denver Radio Club net tonight? If so, please call now. Next, I'd like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now. I'll now take regular check-ins in groups, and please let me know if you have traffic when you check in, and I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo, please call out.
Watt 0 to the Papa Romeo, Paul and Aurora.
N0 ETV, Lance, Aurora, no traffic.
Here is November 0 Delta Bravo Sierra Dawn in Denver with no traffic.
November 5 Charlie Mike Kilo Greg in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Foxtrot Quebec, Troy in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Charlie 0 Charlie Zulu, Bob in Thornton.
Kilo Alpha 5 Delta Kilo Sierra, Ken in Arvada.
KB0 VQP Tim in Thornton, just listening.
Whiskey Delta 6, Delta Oscar Kilo Rich in Arvada, no traffic.
And Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. AC0VC Bill, KA0BBA Curtis, K0DPR Paul, N0ETV Lance, N0DBS Don, N5CMK Greg, KF0AFQ Troy, KC0CZ Bob, KA5DKS Ken, KB0VQP Tim, and WD6DOK Rich. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bromfield.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. AF0E Alex and K1DBC Durham with traffic. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet, please call out.
W0TX Repeater.
W0GV, Jerry, Westminster.
Kilo Echo 0, Foxtrot Alpha November, Hudson, Denver.
Whiskey 0, India Bravo Alpha Eric in Hudson, no traffic.
K6HJV, Tom Arvada, no traffic, I may have doubled.
Alpha 0 Juliet Kilo AA0 JK Fred in Arvada, good evening, no traffic.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. W0GV Jerry, KE0FAN Hudson, W0IBA Eric, K6HJV Tom, and AA0JK Fred. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin with letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now. We'll move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Kilo 0 Lima, Papa Romeo, Lanier and Inglewood.
Whiskey 0 Lima Foxtrot, Orland and Golden, no traffic, over.
Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Sierra India, Tom Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Mike Golf Tango, Don and Aurora.
Kilo 0 Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin, Lakewood.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0LPR Lanier, WW0LF Orland, KE0OSI Tom, KE0MGT Don, and K0KPS Kevin. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
WG0N, Dave in Lakewood.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. WG0N Dave. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo. Stand in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo 0 Tango November Golf Randy and Parker, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Romeo Victor Zulu, John in Lakewood. No traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening, no traffic.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Quebec Delta Golf, KB 9er, QDG, Carl, Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. Excuse me. Sorry about that. WB2 SHR Stan, K0TNG Randy, KE0RVZ John, N0TRP Jim, KB9er QDG Carl. Make second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
KF0UZ, Marshall in Glendale.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Kilo Victor, Bill in Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KF0UV Marshall and KE0YKV Bill. Make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
Kilo 0, Yankee Echo Sierra, Ken in Broomfield.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. K0YES Ken. Open up the entire alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now. There'll be a chance for late check-ins a little later in the net. And next, I'll invite our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, W0GB, to cover club business. Go ahead, Jerry, the net's yours.
All righty, Jim. Well, thank you. Welcome, everybody. Couple things to bring up. Our program for December is out on our website, so you can take a look at that. It's going to be titled Having Fun with VHF and presented by Bob Witte, KØNR. And Bob is a very well-known ham in the area, so I think you'll find it a very enjoyable program, and you'll probably learn quite a bit from him. Bob's also an author. He's written stuff for QST and CQ and CQ VHF and the QRP Quarterly, and he also just published a book called VHF Summits and More. So, like I say, I think he's an engineer by trade, but he's really into summits on the air. In fact, I've worked him several times over the years on the summits. So December 16th, get that on your calendar, and obviously it'll be a virtual meeting, but it'll be I think it'll be a very good program. That would have been the night that we'd have had our annual holiday party, but that's not happening. The other thing I was going to remind everybody of, and I think Jim does sometimes, but I'll kick it out here, is Amazon Smile. If you haven't, there's been a big shopping season here coming up, and if you go to smile.amazon.com, if you haven't already, and register the Denver Radio Club, we're in there. Register says your, I guess, is your charity. I think is what they call it. And anyway, anything you order, then when you order instead of just plain old Amazon, you just go Smile Amazon, and it brings up your page there, and shows. I think in the upper left corner shows that Denver Radio Club is your donor, whatever the word they use. So we get a small percentage of whatever anybody registered to us buys, and it didn't cost you anything. So it's good support for the club and doesn't cost you a dime. So that's about all I got. Hope everybody's staying safe and dealing with all the times we're going through here. So I think that's all I've got. W0GV, back to you, Jim.
Very good. Thanks very much, Jerry. Appreciate that. And let's see, K1 DBC drone, you had traffic. Go ahead, and that is yours. Thanks for that, Daron. Good topics there. Ought to be of interest to most anyone. I don't see anyone else that indicated they had traffic when checked in tonight. Now, this is the Denver Radio Club Net W0TX, and this is K0QR Net Control Station. Does anyone have any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call now.
Question?
Yes, question, go ahead.
Yeah, N0DBS, about the learning net. Are the repeaters
are. It will be on both frequencies. Those two repeaters are linked all the time, and exceptions where we got a need to split them out, but that's not very often.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have anyone else with comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call now. All right, do we have any late check-ins? Please call now. All right, and I'll review the next weekend's contests. We don't have any upcoming Hamfests through this year, and not sure when they're going to get started next year here, but hopefully it'll be soon. All right, upcoming contests. First one we have is the ARL 160 meter contest. That begins on December the 4th and runs 2,200 hours Zulu. That runs through December 6th until 1,600 hours Zulu. That's on $160 meters, and that's a CW contest. Next we have the UFT meeting. Begins on December 5th at 0500 hours Zulu, goes through December 6th until 1000 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that is a CW contest. Next we have the Wake Up QRP Sprint. That begins at December 5th at 0600 hours Zulu, goes through December 5th until 0800 hours Zulu. That's on 40 and 20 meters, and that's a CW contest. Next, we have the Pro CW contest. That begins on November 5th at 1200 hours Zulu, goes through November 6th until 1159 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a CW contest. Next, we have the FT Roundup. That begins on December 5th at 1800 hours Zulu, goes through December 6th until 2359 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a digital contest. And lastly, we have the EPC Ukraine DX contest. That begins on December 5th at 2000 hours Zulu, goes through December 6th until 1959 hours Zulu. That is on 80 through 10 meters, and that is a digital contest. A couple other reminders. The High Noon Net, they meet daily at 12 noon with early check-ins beginning at 11:30. They meet on a frequency of 7.240 megahertz, which is on a 40-meter band. And the Salvation Army Saturnet, they meet at 1500 hours Zulu. That's 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And they meet on Monday through Saturday on a frequency of 14.265 megahertz, which is on the 20-meter band. The Denver Radio Club maintains the following repeaters for use by all radio amateurs: a 147.330 megahertz with a positive offset, 145.490 megahertz with a negative offset, a 224.380 megahertz with a negative offset, a 449.350 megahertz with a negative offset, a 448.625 megahertz with a negative offset, a 447.825 megahertz with a negative offset. Our digital turbo repeater operating on Brandmeister on 446.7875 megahertz with a negative offset, and our C4 FM digital repeater on 449.775 megahertz with a negative offset. The 447.825 megahertz repeater is configured for narrowband FM, and that requires a digital coded squelch of 073. There are two repeaters on 147.330 megahertz. The repeater in Lakewood requires a 100 hertz PL tone, and the second repeater located east near Franktown requires a 131.8 hertz PL tone. We have a second repeater on the same frequency out east to improve coverage along the Front Range and into the canyons. However, having two repeaters on the same frequency with different propagations, we ask that you monitor the frequency to assure neither is in use prior to making your call. The 449.350 megahertz repeater provides wide area coverage, and this repeater hosts our Echolink station, W0TX, node number 4140. And the 448.625 megahertz repeater is linked with the 145.490 megahertz repeater. Repeater on 449.775 is now a C4 FM digital only repeater. Each repeater requires a 100 hertz PL tone for activation, except as noted, and each uses standard offsets. And for packet, we have the 145.050 megahertz gateway on 2 meters that is interconnected with the 14.105 megahertz gateway on 20 meters for packet QSO. And we have a 6-meter repeater on 3.09 megahertz with an input on 52.09 megahertz with a required 107.2 hertz PL tone. Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in any of the many club activities, please contact our club president, Jerry Howard, W0GV. I'd like to thank everyone for checking into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a great week. 7-3. Tonight we had a total of 34 check-ins, and the Denver Radio Club W0TX Net is now closed at 9:07, and repeater is available for regular use. This is K0TR, your net control station, and please stand by a moment while I return the PL tone to the repeater.
PL on.
This is K0TR, and I am clear.